Welcome to the channel. I've built a new portfolio and I was just going to run through. So I have 30% in gold and silver. I have, on the dividend side, when I checked it was about 6.2%. So I've tried to go for the higher dividend side. And I've also got some income. So equity income, premium income, and some monthly income in there. So I think it's about half equities, and then the rest is like income and the silver and gold. So let's run through it and see what sort of returns it will do. So on the gold side, so this gold is hedged. So it hedges out the currency exposure, and the yearly return is 39.22, which is, I think that's fabulous. Fabulous return. Right, let's have a look. The next one is silver. Now this one I do not think is hedged. No, it's not. But the return is 26.65. You can click on the max and see how it's done over the years as well. You see since January 2016 it's done 195%, so you can sort of look at the max as well to get the average, but I'm just going to go through the yearlies on most of these. Right, so the next one is ultra short income. So this one's more for the dividend. So we've got 4.83% monthly. And this is to do with bonds and money market. So there won't be much growth on this, but it's more for the dividend. Yeah, so 4.65 for the year. But this is where the gold and silver, where they've got good growth, and then this one has more of a lower return. They sort of even each other out. Right, let's think of the next one. So this one is listed private equity. It's got a dividend yield of 2.74 paid semi-annually, which you may go, oh, that's not, loads of dividend, but the returns are really good on this. So 14.1% for the year. If you look at the max, since January 2016, that must be over a 20% average yearly return. So that's why that one's in there. I'm trying to diversify my portfolio as well. So rather than just having it in the S&P 500 or the All World or the NASDAQ, this is more diversified. Right, so next one. Developed market dividend leaders. And this pays a 3.96% quarterly. You can see the description there. And for the year, that's 17.28, so that's really good. Right, next one. We've got bonds. I'm not normally liking bonds, but there's not many that pay monthly. And I do want some monthly income, so I've succumbed, shall we say. So we've got 5.13% there. 8.13% dividend yield. This one's actually semi-annually. I know some of the other ones are monthly. Right, this is emerging markets. The dividend is 7.52. That's really good, isn't it? Quarterly. And we've got 11.7 return there. I'll show you the max as well. So since 2017. Okay, so on this one, the overall return is not massive, but you are getting your 7.52% dividend. So, right, let's look at the next one. Right, we've got the S&P 500 in here. And I have VUSA rather than VOO because if you look at the two, I think the VOO is not doing as well as the VUSA one, which is to do with the currency. So this one's at 10.43, but if you look at VOO, it's not performing as well. So this one's in here, obviously because it's the benchmark. So you can see how well it's done since 2017. And there's a little bit of dividends there, not a lot, but the growth is good on that one. And I've got a bit of Nasdaq. So this is tech. Yeah, so very small dividend, 0.33 quarterly. We've got 1309 on there. Over the max, that normally does pretty well though, if you look. So since 2016, 450%, which is really good. Right, Europe equity income. So this one's got a 6.29 dividend yield paid quarterly, so that's good. And you've got the yearly return of 15.37, so that's good on growth and dividend. Global Dividend Aristocrats, 5.25 dividend yield. That's really good dividend yield. Paid quarterly. And an 8.89% for the year. Right, Global Equity Premium Income. So this one's monthly. 7.41%. That's really good. And at least it's paid monthly. Because a lot of the other ones are quarterly or half yearly. And I do want some monthly income. So this one won't have as much growth on it. So like I say, it's all a bit about the mix of growth and dividend. Nasdaq covered call. So we've got 12.79 monthly, which is a really good dividend. Again, there won't be any extra growth on that though. Right, emerging markets, high dividend, low volatility. So 6.08% paid quarterly. That's really good. I don't think this one will have much growth either. It's because the higher the dividend, you don't get so much growth because you're getting it in the dividend. So that's 10.25. This one's emerging markets dividend aristocrats. So this one's 4.77% semi-annually. And the yearly 16.33. So that's a good return, isn't it? I think anything over 10 or 12 is good, so. Right, UK dividends. So we've got 4.88% quarterly. And the good thing about Europe and UK is they pay good high dividends and they're not as overvalued as the US market. And that's a really good return, isn't it? 15.25. So that's why that one's there. Got another UK one here. We've got a 5.23% dividend paid quarterly. That's really good. Yeah, it's doing over the year. 1807. So it's really good, isn't it? Sorry, I'm getting a bit excitable there. Let's have a look. Right, so we've got Europe. So 5.5% dividend yield paid quarterly. And that's got a 26.31%. That's really good for the year. Right. Pacific, excluding Japan, 5.1%, 5.16%. Oh, irregularly. I wouldn't. Well, it might be a bit of a mystery when you get them. I haven't seen that before. It's quite interesting. So we'll have to see when they come in. For the year, 14.28%. Euro dividend. Right. We've got 4.39% paid quarterly. 29.78% return. It's really good. Right, nearly done. Pan Asia Dividend Aristocrats, 4.9% semi-annually. And the yearly return's 15.49, so that's reasonable. This is a more income based one as well. So 5.23% monthly. So there won't be much growth on this one, but it's good. It's a good dividend, so. Yeah, there's no growth there at all. That's a good dividend. Right, last one. 9.22% paid quarterly. That's really high. I mean, that's good. I know I sounded a bit. That is good. And there's the yearly return, 5.48. Okay, so the reason I picked what I picked. So I showed you the gold and silver at the beginning when they had really good returns. So this is a bit like an alternative to bonds. So you can see I've got the 30% in there and they've got good returns, but I can treat them like a dividend when it comes down to retirement. So let me show you again. So if you've got a nearly 40% return in the year, you can choose how much, if you want a top up from what the dividends are paying, you could say, all right, I'll take 10%. off the profit for that year when you retire, or 20. So it's a bit like a cash pot, really. So that's why I've got so much percentage in the silver and gold, and they historically they've done good returns. So it's just not having so much in equities, because you all know equities go up and down. You're gonna have good and bad years, and with the well, if you've watched the news, it's been quite up and down in the USA, which affects most markets. So, and I know the foreign countries and the banks are investing into gold. So I'm hoping that will do well anyway. And it's just hedging my bets. And then where it says the income, so I've got a few on the income side. There's another one there, there. And them two. That's just where I want some monthly income. So I know there's not much growth in there, but you've got growth in the other ones and in the silver and gold. So that's more like more guaranteed income. And then obviously we've got the different places in the world, so Japan, UK, Europe, USA, to capture their growth, because you never know which one's going to do best in the year. So I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket, and especially not all in America. So, and I've chosen high dividends, but like I say, when I averaged it out, it was about 6.2%. I'm not sure what's going to come out on here yet, because it's not invested yet. You see there it's 0. So it will show here when the orders, you see I've placed some orders, I'm waiting for them to go through. So it will show what the average dividend is. But when I did it on Excel, it was about 6.2, which is pretty good. And it's only like half in equities as well, and the rest is in, like I say, sort of income and the silver and gold. So I think it's a good balance of money coming in from different areas. So I've just got this set up as £100 a month. This is in my ISA account, so I don't have to pay tax on this when I take the money out, and I don't have to wait to retirement to take the money out on this either. So that's really good, especially with the returns on here. And I don't want to be paying tax when I retire, or I can decide to take the money out before I retire on this one. Whereas when you've got your SIP, you've got to wait to the retirement age, and there's different tax rules on that. So this is the new portfolio. I'm not sure what to call it, because there's a bit of everything, isn't it? So I suppose it's just a diversified portfolio. But like I say, I'm hoping for the 6.2% dividend. So that's the plan. I'll do a weekly upload on how it's doing, and please like and subscribe. I do have another dividend focused and a growth focused portfolio. If you want to go and look at them, have a look at the playlists, and I do weekly updates on them as well. So that's everything. Thank you.